up, y'all? Kofi Kingston here, and I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks, depending on what that drink is, preferably non-alcoholic, you know?
How's it going? I'm Healthy Warrior Shane.
Soda.
I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Maple syrup.
Fella.
I would never have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Okay, we are live now. Go ahead, Ref Marsh. Welcome to the dive bar of the IWC. Welcome to episode 1 of Wrestling on the Rocks. We are at WHR The Show. I am at Ref Marsh. I'm coming to you live from the Beard Den with the Sports Beard. What's up, man? Hey, how's it going?
All the way in Alaska.
Yep, Anchorage, Alaska. Ref Marsh back to his hometown. We're calling it his hometown. Yep. And then what you're hearing there is the old Shakes, Montana. Say what's up, Shakes.
What's going on out there, wrestling fans?
My partner in crime, Shakes, Montana. Forever love. Shakes, Montana. We can go this view if you want.
Alrighty, man.
You can change it up, whatever. If you want to move stuff on. So anyway, we're going to keep it this way so people can see. Yeah, just so it's easy. We're sponsored, not sponsored. Don't forget. Yeah, sponsored, not sponsored. Sponsored, not sponsored. If you go, because the mic, maybe point it a little bit towards the middle. Or put it in the middle, yeah. Well, let's see. That might be better. Oh, easy. We have to. Yeah. All right, we're going to move it. We got you. We're doing it. My wife is giving us.
Yeah, well, they muted themselves right now, but while they muted and getting themselves together, please take your time out to check out the Shakedown. We on YouTube. Just put on the Shakedown. We do all sports. We cover all teams. So,
hey, can you hear us pretty good now?
Yep, you're great.
Yeah.
You're great.
How about Ref Marsh? Can you hear him okay? How am I doing? Can you hear me better?
Yeah, you're doing good. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we're a little quiet there. All right, awesome. So Ref Marsh is going to just take it away like a normal Wednesday WWE show. He's going to talk a little bit about Raw, Smackdown, and into what do we got coming up this weekend, Shakes? Tell the fans. We got Hell in a Cell. Coming up this weekend.
In a Cell. You got to say it like that. Yeah, you got to say it like that.
Doing it a disservice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. How you doing? You checked out Smackdown. Have you noticed other people are starting to talk about it? Hell in a Cell is primarily a Raw pay-per-view. There's no matches on there from Smackdown. Well, that's what happens when you give dipshit fucking the title for everything.
I haven't noticed that.
There's not a single Smackdown-based match on there. Well, aren't the Usos considered Smackdown?
They both now because they unified.
But they're SmackDown, but they're also Raw because they have those belts. Yeah, but they're going up against a Raw tag team. They're not going up against. Oh wait, no. Wait, is Riddle and Shinsuke? Are they SmackDown? Shinsuke's SmackDown. Yeah,
and Riddle is Raw.
That's why this is so confusing and dumb. And then the Contenders match was on Raw. It's fun. So is Shinsuke Raw now?
I don't know.
That's good to know.
It's so crazy. That's why. When we was talking about it before, when we was talking about unifying the championships, it was going to get confusing this way because now it's like it's not even a SmackDown or a Raw now. It's like you might as well just let them all go.
Fuck the Usos. Fuck Roman Reigns. They've wrecked fucking wrestling. I've said it. They wrecked it. They've wrecked wrestling.
We the ones.
They're the ones. We the ones.
They're the ones.
They're the fucking nuns. They're the fucking heroes.
I don't know if you had this on the agenda, but we might have another Bloodline family member.
Oh, if it's Sami Zayn, I'm all for it. Is it Sami Zayn?
I mean, he's already an honorary member.
He's an honorary Uso.
Same.
Yeah,
he's an honorary Uso.
Who's gonna be the other guy?
Oh, it's not a guy.
It's a girl. Oh, you talking about the new name? The new name that they finally released from Dwayne Johnson's
his daughter.
No, his daughter.
His daughter.
Formerly known as Simone Johnson. Simone Johnson no more. She's now Ava Raine.
Ava Raine.
Is she actually in the WWE?
Yeah.
What is she, NXT? Well, she's been signed with them for what, 3 years
2020. 2020, yep.
2020. but has done nothing.
We've never seen her on TV except for
She's been
during
training.
the pandemic era. She was in the audience a couple times.
Did they run like 80 fucking promos and kill her off like they did
like
with
Elias?
like who's the guy, the big black guy they got rid of? It was like they ran a ton of promos. He did one wrestling match and then see you later, buddy. And he's in AEW now. Keith Lee.
Oh, Keith Lee.
Keith
Yeah. No, they haven't done anything. So she's got her new name. What do you think of the name, Shakes? Because a lot of people are having a lot of issues with it.
I don't care.
Oh, what's the problem with the Ava Rain? I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm with you, Shakes. The name is fine.
It's fine. A lot of people are saying that it's messed up because it's just the same argument they had with Braun Breaker, the same argument they've had with everyone. If you're gonna be the offspring of a big star, take their name.
No, that's stupid. I think it's better to not
Yeah.
take it. And you don't hear the nepotism thing as much. I would have known Braun Breaker was not Jim. I would have never known Braun Breaker was Jim the Nine Hearts if he wasn't.
No,
It's Rick Steiner.
Sorry,
Rick Steiner's son.
Yeah. I mean, and even then, like the amount of grief that Charlotte's gone through just by having Flair on the end of her name. There was a while where they wouldn't even say Charlotte Flair. They only said Charlotte.
But
they were trying to get away.
They don't need to do Charlotte. Yeah, I mean,
but
you know.
But I'm saying like the amount of grief that she's gotten is also almost a testament on why it might be best to create a small distance. Like,
I mean,
to
are they
learn.
pissed they didn't call her Rocky Maivia? I just don't fucking understand.
Yeah, what's your option there?
He changed his name a shitload of times too. Basically, he never has gone by Dwayne fucking Johnson in the ring.
Somebody put out a comment. It was like, what do y'all want her to name herself? Pebbles?
Yeah.
Y'all get it? The Rock,
Yeah.
Pebbles.
Yeah.
Pebbles would have been good. I would have loved that fucking name. That works too. I don't care. I just don't understand like people getting pissed about shit they can't control anyway.
Yeah.
It's not a bad name.
I think it's
Ava
good.
Rain sounds like a good name.
Yeah,
sounds
like
like a
you
good
said,
ring name.
The Rock was Rocky Johnson, or not Rocky Johnson. He was Rocky Maivia.
Yeah, Rocky Maivia.
Yeah.
And his dad was Rocky Johnson, wasn't he?
Rock Johnson.
Yeah. So like he
And
didn't even go by Dwayne Johnson in the fucking
No,
ring.
he went by Rocky. Well, the reason was his grandfather's name was Peter Maivia. So he took his dad's first name, his grandfather's last name, and made it into. So it was like sort of a thing, but like, what was her options? Call herself Dwayne Rain? Like, I don't know. I think it's fine. I think it's totally cool. I don't think you need to have their last name, and I think it's helpful for them to not allow them to create. Like, look what Braun Breaker's doing. They've sprinkled in enough of the Steiner's lore and legacy into what he's doing, but because his name's Braun Breaker, people don't go in there and say, "Oh, this is that Steiner kid. Let's watch him and judge him based off his uncle." You watch him and accept him, and then when you find out after the fact, oh, it turns out he's related to the Steiners, you go,
Yeah,
oh, that's
he's
cool too.
good.
You're like,
He's
oh,
good.
okay, yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I didn't really know that until the Hall of Fame, to be honest with y'all. I didn't know that until the Hall of Fame. I was like, oh, wow, that's his son?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said, oh, okay. Now it makes sense. once they said, you know. Go ahead.
You're not alone. I was the exact same because I don't watch NXT, so I was exactly the same boat as you. I didn't know he was Steiner's brother. You told me probably, and I forgot. So.
And again, like I told you, I keep up with NXT, so I knew of him, and I knew like when they first introduced him, he had a match and he dominated the match. I think it was quick. It was a quick match, and that's what his introduction was, and I was like, okay. And then I just figured that they was just trying to build him up. And then once I seen the Hall of Fame and said, oh, that's his son? Oh, no wonder why they building him up. It made sense.
Yeah, I think it's sick. And I think it's cool. Also the fact that they gave her a name, what does that tell us? She's close to being on TV. And I think that's the big takeaway.
We about to see her on NXT, baby.
We're about to see her. And I think it's awesome. Because like you said, they signed her 2 years ago. They signed her. Here's the other thing. I mean, for whatever it's worth, I know some people have complained. They signed her with knee injuries. It was either go to WWE or go to college was really the decision she had to make. She decided to go to WWE because WWE would help her pay for her knee surgeries that she needed. So she's undergone several knee surgeries already, hasn't even shown up on TV. So that's why she's been rehabbing for so long.
Her dad, who's filthy rich, wouldn't help her pay for her fucking knee surgeries. I'm starting to like the Rock class all of a sudden. Like,
what an asshole! You ain't get your daughter knee surgeries? What's going on?
Like $1 billion fucking dollars? Give me a fucking break.
I thought
you just bought XFL. What are you doing?
He bought XFL. He couldn't afford knee surgeries anymore. He's all like, babe, I can't.
Hey, look, I can't afford it. I just bought this XFL, you know.
Well,
You know, they kicked me off of Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
You know, now I gotta do Hobbs and Shaw.
Well, I heard that he refused to work with Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel.
Sorry, Ving. I didn't mean to, Marcellus. No disrespect, Marcellus Wiley. No, I'm sorry, Vin Diesel. I heard The Rock refused to work with Vin Diesel again. I don't know if it was unsafe.
Yeah, they don't like each other for some odd reason.
Yeah.
I don't know the deep in-depth story about them two, but for some odd reason they do not get along, and so.
Well, I think that standing next to The Rock exposed Vin for being quite small.
Right?
I think that probably was part of it. But I don't know. I mean, what?
Heck yeah. Because look, and y'all may not have the same thing, but when he first came out, Vin Diesel,
yeah,
it was, to me, he was in that Mark Wahlberg type of reign, right? And then when you see him next to Mark Wahlberg, you was like, oh man, Mark Wahlberg looks real small, right?
Yeah.
And then you like, okay, and then you see Vin Diesel next to The Rock, and then you like, oh man, Vin Diesel look real small. So you know, it's just like a pecking order, right? It's a pecking order.
In fairness, isn't The Rock bigger now than he was in WWE? He's massive.
Yeah.
And he just lifts all the time. Like, it's a part of his life. Yeah, I love Pitch Black. I love Vin Diesel. I like The Rock. I wish they weren't feuding. I think it sets a bad example. Like, these are two of the most famous athletes. I don't think Vin Diesel was really an athlete, but I know he played sports in high school and stuff like that. But he seems like a pretty down-to-earth guy. So does The Rock. You should run for vice president when The Rock runs for president, I think.
Yeah,
so.
Either that or squash the beef in the ring at SummerSlam. Rock Vin Diesel.
Or WrestleMania. That would be a great WrestleMania, you know.
Or celebrity they're going to do if it's Roman Reigns for the unified titles against The Rock. That's going to be real fun.
Bro, I wanted that last WrestleMania.
Vin Diesel will interfere in the match and cost Rock the match.
Well, what if Rock beats Roman Reigns and he has both the Universal Champion and the WWE Champion, and then those are held hostage like they are now? I dread those days. Like, dread those.
I think one of those titles is coming off Roman before then, but I don't think the Universal. If I'm being honest, but I mean, I don't know.
Well, that makes sense because he technically is on SmackDown.
Yeah.
So they got to keep him with that one. Whatever it is, I would not want to be in that situation. I know a lot of this stuff spurned from injury and stuff like that, but I feel like the WWE's in a bad situation with the tag team matches, the tag team titles, and the Universal title and the WWE champion.
Did he demolish the record?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like been done forever now.
Yeah, he's well beyond that record, so he could lose it at any time, and it no longer hurts the story of his character. I think also the way that we see things as fans is different than the way they see things as people who've been running the same company for 50 years. Because like we think of it in these small windows of like, oh my God, these next 3 months are going to be so rough until one of these goes. And in their mind, like it's 3 months out of 60 years. Whatever, that's a blip, you know what I mean? So for them to drag something on a few months feels longer to us than to them, I think.
I think it'll be 2 years.
For one of
the I think this is where I think it is with Roman Reigns, right? You build this character so high now, right? Like he's godlike now, right? In the wrestling world.
Yeah.
So you can't lose the title to a Riddle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be on that stature and then lose to Riddle or a Finn Balor. It has to be somebody mega.
Sami Zayn.
I think Beard right. It has to be the locker room leader.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn, honorary bloodline member.
Yeah, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn needs to stab him in the back and betray him. That's who it needs to be. That'll make the greatest story ever.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, we would all love it.
Can you imagine, too, if Sami did betray him and took a title and came out one week doing the same poses and shit as Roman, like holding the title up over his head the same way and everything? It'd be so funny.
You know what I think is gonna happen? I think he's
Unreal.
gonna lose the belt to Cody Rhodes, but it's not gonna happen immediately.
2 years. It'll be 2 years.
No, I think the next big main pay-per-view. What is that? SummerSlam.
I think SummerSlam. I think one of those titles is coming off from SummerSlam. I agree.
I hope Cody Rhodes does win it. That'll be such an awesome thing. I will cry.
But here's the deal. So with Cody Rhodes being as awesome as he's doing right now, do we want to throw the title on him at SummerSlam so quick to when he came in, or would we hold off and make him keep chasing it till Mania and he gets the title at one of the Manias? I think someone else is going to take the title off of Roman at SummerSlam. I think Cody doesn't get it till Mania.
I agree with that.
Because then he gets that moment, that 1 year moment. I came back to do this thing, and 1 year later, I did the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And it will be awesome because, I think for years, based on what I've heard, because I wasn't around for it, that Cody kind of didn't acknowledge that his dad was a big factor. And now he's like, hey, no, actually, my life was great because of my dad. And even if we didn't have everything, and as a guy who was a fan of Dusty Rhodes, it just makes me love Cody even more. I didn't see him at all in AEW because I didn't watch AEW, but I am a huge fan. I am so the only thing that can get me out of this Roman Reigns stench and the Usos stench is the fact that Cody Rhodes has a chance to win the title, and there's a legacy thing to it. It's really cool. Oh, and by the way, Cody Rhodes is awesome in the ring, and this shit that he's doing with Seth Rollins. At first, I was like, remember I said last time I was on the show because it's been a couple weeks. I was like, yeah, I'm done with Cody and Seth. We don't need it anymore. And I'm like, man, this Cody and Seth thing is really good.
Up again.
They're still doing really good with the Cody and Seth. Because Seth was saying some serious shit, you don't get to burn the throne down. And Marsh explained a lot of that stuff from the AEW side to me, and I was like, oh man, if there's not real vitriol there, he's making it seem like there is. So that's cool.
Well, I don't know if you had a segment for it, but I'll attack it real quick, right?
Let's go for it.
Okay, so
it's vacation, so we don't have structure anymore.
Let's do it. All right. So here's my thing with Seth, right?
Yeah.
Dusty Rhodes, just like Triple H, is a huge mentor to Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
So to me, the way I see this,
Dusty was to Seth.
Big time.
Yes.
Matter of fact, they referred to Seth Rollins as one of Dusty's kids. At the same time, Cody was in the company, and Cody actually had a lot of animosity towards Seth at the time, but he acknowledges now that Seth was just better, faster than him. But he was so upset that they'd be sitting there on commentary referring to one of Dusty's kids, and it was Seth fucking Rollins and not his actual kid.
Yeah.
So there was at least that for a while.
Well, now they're making it.
And that's where I was getting to, right? Because now it gets into a point where it's like a sibling rivalry, right? Yeah. It's like Dad loved me more. No, Dad loved me more. You know what I'm saying? He raised me. He's like, well, he raised me wrestling wise. Since I came into the ring, he raised me. So it's that sibling rivalry. He loved me more, and that's what making it more interesting with this rivalry.
It does feel a little bit different, but similar to the Dustin Cody story that they started AEW on. You do get that same kind of feeling where it feels like two people who, by all accounts, should be friends, but have every reason to be enemies because of just the way that they grew up, as it were. It does feel that way. It does feel that personal, which is awesome.
Let's soften this later.
Mm-hmm.
Is that better? Is that a little better?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Gives us a little more color.
Well, you were getting whitewashed. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, we're doing some production here.
Hey, I see that, man. Hey, it's all good.
So Rough Marsh doesn't get completely washed out. Even though he lives in Arizona, he's pale as a fucking ghost, man. I don't know.
Can't do anything about it.
And meanwhile, I'm getting that tan out there.
That's right.
But yeah, I'm loving it. We'll talk about it before we'll just skip around, but that promo that Seth had where he came out and was like, you can't smash the throne, take a sledgehammer to the throne and then try and take that throne away from him.
Yeah.
Well, what I've noticed is they're taking so I thought, okay, we're not going to see Becky Lynch for a wrong. they're taking like the really good, like story runners like Becky, like Seth, and they're keeping them engaged. So we're not seeing some of the fledgling stuff that we like to see. We're seeing a little less. I actually have enjoyed what they've done with 24/7. And then I don't know how he's not as big a fan of Edge and the Judgment Night, but I like that stuff too.
Judgment Day, yeah.
Yeah, Judgment Day, yeah. Judgment Night, good movie. Check it out. You remember Judgment Night, right? With Emilio. Anyway.
Emilio!
Yeah. But I'm a huge fan of them just keeping these really good storylines going. Yeah. And at first I was like, oh, okay. But like if the substitute of not getting Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes is more Lacey Evans stuff, I'm like, oh, okay, let's just keep with this Seth Rollins. Because it's really good, dude. It's so good. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, this is great. And then for you to bring all that other stuff up just makes it cooler. You fucking know all this, like you too, Shake. So you're like, oh yeah, like Cody Rhodes was really not, like kind of the odd man out, and Seth Rollins was more of a kid to Dusty, which I was like, anyway, I always loved Dusty Rhodes because he wasn't the best looking. He kind of talked with a list, but he could really just like, I'm a worker man, like hustle, like he just was good. Like you just felt like, so I was always a big fan of Dusty. And so like, I gotta be his kid. And I loved how he kind of acknowledged it. And this Rollins rivalry is good. And the matches are great. Yeah. So now, I mean, but Cody has again, right?
And that's why I love it, because on Cody's side, he's like, oh yeah, like you is the son that Dusty wished he had. Yeah. And I've always been lobbying to be that son. And now where Seth Rollins is coming from is like, yeah, no, you're supposed to be the prodigal son and shit. You're supposed to be the one, but you went off and tried to destroy the company, and now you back. Yeah. No, I'm not having that. I worked too hard to build this company, and you try to tear it down, and now you're gonna come back like everything is okay? No, it's not okay. This I love it, bro. I love it. I love the promo.
I don't think AEW came close to destroying WWE.
No, but in a sense, right? They may not have actually come close to destroying it, but in essence, what they kept doing and the things they were saying, they kept trying to undermine it. If nothing else, you can't actually destroy it, but you can undermine it to an entire fan base, and that's what they were trying to do. So that's what he was kind of saying, is they're trying to tear down everything I'm doing. Instead of saying, like, hey, we're all doing great, they're doing great stuff, you're over here mocking it. You're over here talking shit about it. You're saying if you like that, you don't like real stuff. If you like that, you don't like fun stuff. Like, the undermining of the WWE fan base as well as the product is where I think that comes, because like you're right, AEW wasn't going to show up and within a year put WWE out of business. It's not going to happen.
All right,
but you can undermine it and make it seem lesser than to your fan base, and you don't have to. And so for Seth to be like, you guys can be over there talking all the shit you want, but you can't come over here and now pretend this is the place to be, because you just spent fucking 3 years telling everybody that this was a fucking bullshit place and they had no business being here. And now you're coming in here saying this place is great now? Like, no. I've been saying it's great all along. Like, you don't get to come back. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I love it. So good, dude. Even Cody with his little, what's stopping me from going out there, these 3 little ropes in that barricade. From that promo he did back about Bill Watts' fourth wall that he did in AEW early on. And people were like, oh, it's a different thing. They're saying stuff. Like, man, I love it. I love the way that Cody's bringing back everything.
And I thought that they was gonna leave it at that and just wait and just have it salivate for the pay-per-view, and have Seth Rollins just walk off and up to the steps. My man Cody went right to. Oh man, that fight, man.
Dude, that was awesome.
That fight is what juiced it all up, man, because you can see like it's really some disdain there. It may be in the role, you know, it's all in the role, but it's some disdain there. It's some disdain underneath the surface.
Yeah, I think that as much as they may like and respect each other now, I think they can both remember times where they didn't, and they're tapping into that at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's an accident they put Cody with Seth right away. I think that was on purpose for a lot of reasons, because I think those two dudes knew what they could do and what they could.
They're probably good friends in real life too. Like
at this point in time, I don't think they always were.
Which I think honestly makes for better story, because who did Rollins run a program with the last? thing.
Edge was the last one.
Well, that was fucking great too.
Amazing. And
they brought in Beth Phoenix a bit too. Wasn't that part of, like I said, well, I wouldn't even mind Beth Phoenix and because the one thing I've noticed is Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, like it's almost not like if you just became a fan, you wouldn't know they were together because they don't run a lot of stuff together because they don't need to.
Well, they tried it once too.
Well, it doesn't make any sense. Oh, it went bad. But it doesn't make any probably because they love and care about each other too much, I would say. But they're so good. You don't like, I feel like that shows you that you don't need it.
Yeah.
Like they're so good.
It's like Seth Rollins and Becky is like Jay-Z and Beyonce. It's like we know that they're together, but we don't need to see them kissing all day and showing all this affection to know that they together. We know it's a Jay-Z and a Beyonce, and just like that, we know it's a Seth Rollins and a Becky Lynch.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And then, I mean, at the time, too, Seth was struggling with finding himself as a babyface, and it didn't help that he was standing across from arguably the greatest promo in the business right now with Becky Lynch. So it almost undermined him as Universal Champion. So, but yeah, I agree with you. I don't need them together all the time by any means. Well, I mean, we are getting ready for Hell in a Cell, and so we're kind of going down the line here, talking about Cody versus Seth. Speaking of Becky Lynch, Becky versus Asuka versus Bianca. Triple threat at Hell in a Cell. What do you think about this build so far, and what do you think about the match? What's going to be like?
You know what? It's so crazy in this segment because it sort of seems like the champion is the odd person out.
Yeah,
like it's this rivalry between Becky and Asuka is kind of overshadowing the champion Bianca.
Yeah.
And and listen, like this rivalry between Asuka and Becky, it goes so deep and it goes so far that they can carry this for months, a few pay-per-views. So I think that that's the thing about this segment is that their rivalry together alone is overshadowing, like neither one of them is the champion. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But that rivalry right there between them two is making the whole segment juicy as hell. Because you get to the point where they had this strong rivalry before the pregnancy, and then for Becky to get pregnant and say, okay, you know what? I don't see nobody else that deserves the title while I'm gone but you. Yeah. And hands it right to her.
Yeah.
And so, to have this and then to come back and say, all right, I'm the woman now. I'm back. I'm the man again.
Yeah.
And you're irrelevant. You know what I mean? You was good. I gave you the torch. You held it for a little while, but I'm back now.
Yeah.
And so that rivalry right there between them two is definitely overshadowing the whole match. But I feel like it's juicy because of it, but still, it seems like Bianca is an afterthought in this match.
That almost opens it up to make it easier for Bianca to walk away with the title again. If we have Asuka and Lynch implode and become, they could stop each other from winning effectively. Bianca can walk away from it, and then you can move Bianca forward with, I don't know who would be next. I wouldn't be against like Alexa Bliss finally getting something to do. But
or Liv Morgan
finally. I think you hold off on Liv Morgan.
Shout out Kev.
Yeah, shout out to Kev. Well, I mean, Kev's a big Alexa Bliss guy too. But I think that with Liv,
Liv Morgan is so
slow play Liv.
So pretty. She's so pretty.
Oh, we can add you to the list of people that are in love with Liv Morgan so too.
Pretty. No, but look, Sasha Banks. I ain't cheating on you, baby. I love you. Okay, I love you. Sasha, you listening? I love you. Nobody else.
You never know, Shakes. You never know. I'm rooting for you, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm rooting for you.
I need all the shots and all the all the luck I can get, man. Cause Sasha.
I think with Liv, if you have her go up against her, something's got to. Well, maybe you do that. Maybe you have Liv go for it and have Rhea cost Liv the title. I think you have to keep cheating Liv out of the title So eventually at a Mania, she can get the big win in that kind of WrestleMania 30 kind of Daniel Bryan way, where it's all like undeniable. The fans have been clamoring for it. They're drooling for it. They just need her to get some gold. You got to keep cheating her out of it for a while. But you could do that, I think, especially with Rhea being where she's at and being jealous.
I'm a big fan of I like Asuka. I've never
Well, you know what? There's the beef, and I'm sorry, Brad, but the beef between Liv Morgan and Rhea can definitely propel her to get back into the title contention.
We were kind of talking about this the other day, though. I kind of feel like the Liv Morgan and Rhea were not partners for but like 2 weeks. Like, I mean, like Nikki ASH has more of a reason to be pissed at Rhea Ripley because they were partners longer. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like this Rhea Ripley thing. I'm not saying not screw Liv Morgan out like what you're saying, but I don't know that Rhea Ripley needs to be a part of it. I like what they're doing with Judgment Day. I almost wish it would be someone else, like Becky Lynch, that could do it. Remember that girl's face? Wasn't that Becky Lynch that she lost to? That was pretty.
That was Liv and Becky, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Like, there was actually already stuff there, and they just sort of dropped that like a wet blanket. I don't know.
Well, because that was really towards the build of Bianca. Everything else was secondary to that. I think the reason I'd say you do like a Rhea is because Rhea can cheat Liv out of the thing, and then you can have Rhea go for the title too. You know what I mean? So you can get two rivalries against Bianca. Again, the problem is, like Shake said, Bianca becomes an afterthought.
Yeah, you can't have Bianca be an afterthought. Here's the other thing, though. I was telling Ref Marsh, I think that there are so few women that can wrestle Rhea Ripley like well, and Liv is one of them. Yeah. So they probably just have to keep them together because they are so good. Remember, I kept saying about Raw last night. I was like, her fucking bootlace is tied the whole time, and they don't miss a beat. Yeah, so they're really good.
I kind of like, Rhea Ripley with this momentum going and facing Bianca Belair.
I'd be okay with
I
that
think
too.
that's
an awesome matchup too.
Yeah, it is. And the reason why I like, I'm gonna let you go, Bear, but the reason why I like Rhea Ripley in the Judgment Day is because it gives me that China feel with DX back in that day.
I agree.
Yeah. And that's why I like the Rhea Ripley thing. Go ahead, though.
I like a lot of what Judgment Day is doing. My only issue I really have with Judgment Day is just that I feel like Edge is coming off so much lesser than we know he can be.
He thinks Edge is phoning it in.
But I think also
I know,
that I really hope what it is that it's by design. I'm hoping that Edge is taking all the easy shit and giving the hard stuff to the others so he becomes overshadowed. The idea is to elevate the other ones. If I can make them look better than me, they're going to look like they're better than a Hall of Famer. How fucking great is that, right?
Here's the thing with Edge. We've been saying for years that he was medically not going to be able to do this for a long time, right? So I think, honestly, there's not much he can do in the ring anymore. So he's scaling it back and being more of a Jimmy Hart persona or a Paul Bearer, because this has got some shades of the occult and stuff, which I love. I'm all for that. I've been saying that's been missing from the WWE storyline. But he's capable of running it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And he doesn't have to do anything in the ring. We still get a WWE Hall of Famer running a stable, essentially. Yeah. And he has to do shit. And he's helped Damian Priest, who in my opinion has had a hard time selling his character. And he's helped Rhea Ripley, who in my mind has had a hard time selling her character. And now they're fucking kick ass, and they've got it's three of them with Edge, but I keep seeing him tweet out pictures of who's the gal that's real popular that they made the movie out of. I always forget Paige.
Oh, Paige, yeah.
He's put Paige on there. Holy shit. And even if she came back just in an administrative role, it's good, man. You know who else would be good in that? Sonya Deville. She would be good in there too. So there's just limitless possibilities. But I am with you. You talked a little bit about Bianca and Rhea. That's another person that looks like a normal human being wrestling Rhea and Bianca Belair because she's so strong and so powerful. That's why I was saying Doudrop. They can't do much with Doudrop because who can wrestle her effectively?
Yeah.
My thing my thing with the Edge thing is what you kind of alluded to was, it's not so much strain on him, like to be a main event guy that has to do it night in night out like a Roman Reigns. He can't do that no more. But he can still give you great solid matches and still be there character wise for them on that show, and which will bring him into the championship contendership. Because what y'all said with Rhea Ripley and Priest, they are building these guys' characters up because they are very talented, but was finding a difficult time to get over with the fans. Be relevant, not just get cheered for, but be relevant to the fans. And this makes them relevant. But not only does it do that, you put them up there, and you put them up there to this top of level, and they keep on rising to this top of the level. But who are they under the whole time? So as they rising up, they're following Edge. So as much as they rise up, that means Edge rises up. It's like this. If Edge is right here and they right here, if he raises up like this, Edge raises up. They raise up, Edge raises up. They raise up, Edge raises up. That's how it goes. I think it's genius.
What was that again? No, I just kidding. No, I love it, dude. I agree with you 100%. I think
it extends his career by another 5 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if he was going to be in Seth Rollins style programs back to back, he'd have maybe a year. Maybe.
That's what. Yeah,
exactly.
I think gives another 5 years.
This is kind of like me saying, you know what? I appreciate Edge being back so much. I don't care what role he has, as long as he's doing something cool that we appreciate as fans. I'm okay with it, and I like what they're doing. I mean, and as far as Roman Reigns, when does he fucking wrestle? I mean, other than coming out and saving the Usos asses, he doesn't wrestle every night. So, like,
wrestle when he needs to.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
because he's the one.
So, we'll just, I mean, it's sad and pathetic that you guys are such followers.
Put your ones up. Put up your ones, they said.
But,
put your ones up.
Again, I am not interested in that story at all. Like, at all. I could care less. Like, I am so brokenhearted that RK Bro is gone.
That's wild, too, man. Do you think that Randy's really going through some surgeries, huh? That's what it sounded like.
Who, Randy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it do seem like Randy's really hurt.
Do you think it's weird that they went so quickly to put Riddle back in a tag team? Because to me, that's the weird part. Is that if you had, because the team was going so well,
let him go on his own at this point.
Let him break
it. Listen, I agree. I agree, because when he came out, I think the promo of SmackDown, right?
Yeah.
And he came out, and he was going just ape shit on the whole bloodline. You know, he called Roman Reigns something I can't remember. My nephews keep saying, and they like, I'm just like.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But,
it was the greatest thing I've seen.
But yeah, like you could tell, like he's like, you motherfucker. Y'all just took my mentor out, man. And his promo that he did was amazing. Yes, man, it was amazing.
Can't hold Randy Orton's jockstrap.
He should. He should have carried that momentum, man. Riddle. He should have carried that momentum. Throwing him in the tag team, like. I think it does stunt him, because right there, we was like, oh man, he's gonna be on a one-man army type of mission now.
Yeah, let's go.
And
let's go
and now it's just
individually
like,
go and say you want to face Roman. Like, it seemed like even if he didn't win against Roman, it felt like, hey, we've got a lot of possibility here, and he was primed for a singles run. Let him go take the IC title off of Ricochet. You know what I mean? I like Ricochet. I don't want him to take it off him, but I'm saying, like, let him go be this force. But yeah, as soon as they paired him up with Shinsuke, it felt to me like they slammed on the brakes, and I was like, oh, I can only be, as much as I think the team's going to be an amazing team, it's going to always be just not RK Bro, just because of the timing of it. You know what I mean? You did it too close to RK Bro. He went from RK Bro to, I found a new tag partner. Why?
Well, Shinsuke and Boogs was awesome too, and he lost his partner to injury as well.
Right.
So I mean, if you want to say what makes the Usos great is they never get injured, I get that. Like they're out there.
No, they get injured though. They get injured.
Well, I mean, yeah, I got you. I'm just saying, like we've lost Boogs, we lost Randy Orton, we've lost some guys to injury. Like Bobby Lashley was out for a minute. And that seemed like that was legit. That probably put this whole double title thing into fucking, you know, what we're in now. But like I told Marsh, I was excited to see Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar over Roman. I didn't give a shit about Roman Reigns. Like I wasn't even compelled about it until Brock went like ape shit nuts, and then he actually like sold it real well. But I was like, oh, okay. Well, I bought one of those country ass kicking shirts.
I'm not gonna lie though. Even though I love the Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar feud, I would admit that I've been waiting for that Brock Lesnar Bobby Lashley for like a decade.
That's
you know what I mean?
A lot of fans. Yeah, that's what I got from a lot of fans. And that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes just let the fans, you know, get what they want. Because I think that
there is a balance though. WWE is very good at building anticipation. And I think other companies are struggling with that.
Are we going to get Brock and Bobby ever again, though? We may never see Brock in the ring again.
That's what I mean. That's why they did it when they did it, because they knew they could, and it was their chance, and the anticipation had already built. Right. I think at this point, if we get a part 2, great. But if we don't, it is what it is. I think that one of the reasons they don't jump on stuff is they want the anticipation, which is why I don't think they're going to jump on throwing a title on Cody. They want people to want it.
Yeah, no, I get that. You know? No, that makes sense.
And if I'm honest with like, I think the most valid criticism about AEW is that they don't build anticipation. They get you right to the match that they know you want right now. And so by the time the match happens, you go, oh, that's very nice. And then it happens. You go, okay, that was good. But you don't get to that point where you don't get to a fever pitch where you explode when something happens. That Daniel Bryan story doesn't happen because if they see somebody...
Is he even wrestling with them right now? I haven't seen him. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that Daniel Bryan WrestleMania moment was a build of years of them realizing they could get there and said, and if we draw it out a little bit, it's going to explode.
Meanwhile, you're asking about Daniel Bryan?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Just a sidebar. Beard. I know you don't like AEW.
No, I don't hate AEW at all. Okay. That's not true. I just don't have time to watch it between hockey, football, the Shakedown.
I got you. Well, all right. Well, listen.
Shakes, you're getting big time guests like Paul Bettino for me to produce, man. Like I got to be on my A game. Can't be fucking around here,
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man. But listen, like I want you to do this, right? Suggesting this. Watch this match. I don't know how you can do it. I think Marsh can definitely get that for you. But watch this match. The Anarchy and the Arena. Anarchy and the Arena.
All right.
Last in that pay-per-view, it was crazy.
Was it? All right.
My bad. I'm sorry. But yeah, it was crazy, man. And listen, the whole match, and Daniel Bryan is in the match. That's why I'm telling you to watch it. And man, like the beginning of the match, they had the damn intro music on for like 10, 15 minutes. No lie, the intro music while they was fighting. It was amazing.
Was it the shitty song Wild Thing?
Yeah, that's what it was.
I hate that song.
Wild Thing, like from the movie, like
yep. Wild Thing, dun, 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 dun. You make my heart sing.
That's like Creedence Clearwater Revival. I heard it through the grapevine. It's like 9 minutes. It's like I like that song, but not
Wild Thing.
Let her play, I guess.
That's like a 2.5 minute song.
Yeah,
bro. And they put it on a loop and everything, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
I was like, okay, is they gonna cut this off at any minute now? It was like 15 minutes, seriously. Oh man, it got to the point where Jericho had to just go ahead and trash the whole thing. That's how they cut the music off. But yeah, watch that match. Just watch that match. That's what I'm suggesting. It was crazy.
We'll find
That's what I'm gonna tell
you. All right, so. Let me just get a quick rundown of something. Cody versus Seth. Who do you think is going to win, Shakes?
I think Seth Rollins is going to take this one. They can't have Cody clean sweep him, bro. That deminimizes Seth Rollins. Like clean sweep?
I think he's gonna.
I can't
lose.
see it.
I think Seth Rollins is gonna
I
lose.
can't
I don't
see
think it diminishes Seth Rollins at all.
I don't. I think it elevates Cody. If Seth loses, it's showing that it shows how much heart Cody has, that he's able to take down Seth Rollins at his best.
Cody has to win this match. Yeah, he has to win this Hell in a Cell.
I'm torn.
Yeah, I mean,
I get it. My bad. I'm sorry. I get it what y'all saying, but the way I'm feeling that it diminishizes because Seth Rollins has not won a significant, relevant match in quite some time. He has been on the losing end for months now. And this is Seth freaking Rollins, man. He can't keep losing month after month.
I just don't think it diminishes his character because he's so good and everybody knows it.
I get it.
I mean, but
he's been losing every pay-per-view.
I'll say this.
Even before WrestleMania.
Yes, but if Seth loses this, he would need an absolute he needs to be built back up. I'll say that. I don't think it diminishes him or his potential or what people think of him, but he will come out of that needing another rivalry that he can come out on top of. He would need that, like bad. He's going to have to pick on somebody smaller than him.
Here's what I'll say, Shakes.
Oh, man.
And then I think we should move on from Cody and Seth.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say this. Cody could beat Seth, and Seth could be in a promo against Roman Reigns like the next week, and it wouldn't be an issue, I don't think.
I think that's true.
That's how versatile and good Seth Rollins is, and he'll make it believable because that's how good he is. So I think the WWE has no concerns with Seth Rollins winning or losing. I think either way it's fine.
But how can you though? How can you do that if he's been losing for about like 5 months on end? He's keep on losing, and he can just go thrown back in the contender or title contender. No, I don't see that.
Shakes because he's so good at running stories, man. He's such a good story runner. It's like Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens isn't doing shit. This Elias thing, it's the best fucking thing on there. Elias is a liar. It's awesome. It's because he's good at running stories. So I don't think it even matters that he's losing as long as the fan base is engaged in the storyline. That's what I'm telling you. Like, I feel like they could drop this Cody Rhodes thing like a wet habit and Seth could move on to something else. It'll be great. Now, that being said, what do they do with Cody? So that's why I think we're going to see 6 more months of this Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes thing, to be quite frank. If you were saying the vitriol was as big as it was and the way they're saying it and selling it, I think we're going to see a lot more of this.
I think they put it behind them after Hell in a Cell. Seth Rollins, when you look at his stories he likes to build towards the Hell in a Cell, make the Hell in a Cell feel like it matters, and then move on.
Right.
Even with Edge. Yeah, it should. It should. But I agree that I think that this is I think if Cody wins, Seth has to go on a winning streak after that because it also therefore elevates Cody. Cody's so good that he dominated Seth Rollins, who we know his pedigree, and now look at him, he's back to dominating again.
This isn't about tearing down Seth Rollins. This is about building up Cody Rhodes. And I think that's why we're going to see...
You just double down on how strong Seth is after the fact.
Yeah. They'll take care of Seth Rollins. The only thing that hurts Seth Rollins is if he gets like a real injury and has to leave for a while, and then that would hurt any momentum his character gets. But they've made some promises to him. He's going to get a run. I mean, they're fixing to get rid of Roman. Like, Roman's going to be gone or do something. I keep reading or hearing that he's probably...
I think the belief is he's going to do a lot less non-TV. Like, he's not going to be doing the house shows. He's going to be pretty much on TV and pay-per-views, and that's it. And then at some point, I'm sure they even scale that back to just pay-per-views and like 2 TVs and some kind of shit.
I'm sure he's been told he's getting the television show or something.
It would be like Miz and Mrs., but with Roman.
Yeah. I would actually watch something with Roman, though.
I actually would.
Like, I don't hate Miz. I actually love Miz, but, like, I'm not watching his reality show.
Yeah, I said it as a joke, but when I think
about
a reality show about Roman,
I would watch it. Yeah, I would watch
I'd be fucking fascinated.
Yeah, I would watch it. I'm interested in Roman the person. Like, I just don't give a fuck about his character. Like, Joe, I'm interested in learning more about. Yeah. But Roman Reigns and the Usos, they could fucking go away. I just like the problem with wrestling is they talk about how much nepotism plays in, and they're like, no, it doesn't. Oh, wait. the Usos and they're all fifth generation wrestlers. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, it's a little. Well, it's the family business. Man.
Well, I get it.
They inherited.
Well, you love it, but I don't necessarily need it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't need it.
Yeah.
Some of the best wrestlers, Stone Cold Steve Austin's not legacy. The Undertaker wasn't legacy. He was going to be a basketball player. Those are some of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Triple H, not legacy. Married into legacy, but not legacy. Some of the best of all time. Shawn Michaels, not legacy. Anyway, we could go on. I'm just saying, I get it. Harley Race, awesome. I don't need to see his son wrestle. Ted DiBiase's son sounds like a real piece of work.
Yeah. Oh, Ted DiBiase's son. He was all right.
He just got picked. He just got arrested. You didn't hear?
No, I didn't.
He's under fire for a lot of
he got arrested or
money, church-related things.
Yeah, he was laundering money in a church, which is essentially what church is anyway, is a money laundering operation. But anyway, I digress.
We got to start a church.
Yeah.
We need to make some real money.
We call it the Church of Wrestling, and we're going to be a 501c and not pay any taxes.
We'll call it the Church Down.
Who else was in
the
legacy?
Shakedown in there too. Yeah, the Church Down.
The Church Down, and we'll do it.
Smackdown,
Who
Shakedown, Church Down.
Who else was in legacy? It was DiBiase's son, and who else?
Oh, there's a ton.
In legacy, it was DiBiase's son, Cody, Randy, and maybe Curtis Axel.
Yeah, Randy was also legacy. I always forget.
Yeah.
All right, so Bianca, Asuka, Lynch. Who do you think walks away with the title there?
Asuka, hopefully. I want Asuka to win it.
Okay.
I mean, I would like Bianca to win too, but Asuka would be cool because she's fun.
I have my problem with this match is I have no problem with anybody winning this match.
Yeah.
My only thing is that I think
it'll
be
Bianca.
Yeah, that's true.
It'll be Bianca.
It'll be Bianca. I agree.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be it carries on. I'm sorry to cut you off. I think it carries on the rivalry between what we was talking about earlier, Asuka and Becky. Yeah. I think that rivalry just carries on from that match.
Dude, and that is such that I've missed a lot of that and had to go back and watch it because of Shakedown and doing the driveway and blah blah blah. I enjoy that. Asuka, I've not seen her before. She's fucking so fun. And she doesn't speak a fucking lick of English, and it's great. It actually makes her character better, I think. So I'm a huge fan of her. And she is awesome in the ring. She is so good in the ring. I'm like, oh my God, she is she looks like an old school wrestler too. She's not too fit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's such thing as too fit for a women wrestler. Chyna was a little bit too fit early in her career. She was when she slimmed down a little bit and took a little bit of the muscle away. I'm not talking about fake breasts and all that bullshit. I don't need any of that. I don't need to be physically attracted to my women wrestlers. In fact, I actually think that takes away from it.
I think sometimes they don't get a fair judgment because of it.
Yeah, I agree. The women wrestlers I don't have I'm not in love with them. Sorry, I know you and Kev love Liv Morgan, but I think she's just good in the ring. I'm getting old enough too, where these girls are pretty young, so I feel like a dirty little man.
Right.
The one girl from NXT, I'm like, she looks 12. It just doesn't look right, dude. But no, I love all three of these. I do think it's going to be Bianca, but gosh, man, Becky Lynch is so good, and Asuka is awesome in the ring, man. And you know what? I actually love the people that are great in the ring that aren't necessarily great on the microphone. And because I think sometimes they have to overcome more to sell their thing, or they have to have an MVP. We see with Omos. Let's go. What do you got next for us?
Kevin Owens and Ezekiel Shakes. What do you think?
Oh my God.
I think Kevin Owens versus Ezekiel. I think Elias interferes in the match.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have Elias interfere in
look at Shakes trying to figure out how they're gonna get Elias to interfere. How do they do Elias interfere? Because here's the problem. So we know in reality that Ezekiel is Elias.
I don't know.
Right.
And he shaved the beard.
Right.
He shaved the beard, right?
Right.
So that beard was legit.
That is Elias.
Yeah. It's his younger brother, so far as I can tell.
Well, no, it's not. You're a liar.
Yeah.
I seen
You're a liar.
You didn't see the picture together of them?
Yeah.
Y'all all are liars, bro.
Hey,
Y'all are all liars.
hey, not to get off the subject, but don't you love Ezekiel's Ultimate Warrior gig? I mean, I love it. Basically, his uniform is like a homage to the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
Except for his character is nothing like the Ultimate Warrior, which makes it even cooler.
It's funny too because he is so subdued. He comes out, he's real calm, and I don't know, man.
It's good. I'm a huge fan. I was so hoping Sami Zayn would leave with Kevin Owens because what Sami Zayn sells is good. Marsh is the one too that got me on the Sami Zayn thing. He is so brilliant. Another guy that they can just hand any fucking story to and say, "Here you go, Sammy. Fucking take it and run." And it's the most intriguing stuff. I told you, I'm actually interested in the bloodline. If he weasels his way in there, he could carry that story for another year and a half on his own. That's how good he is.
Yo, I swear, that was my favorite segment. I love them together, man. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, man. Yeah, and they was in that ring together.
So good.
And he was like, and they was like best friends, and they was like complimenting each other, like, I love what you're doing over there, and I love what you're doing. And oh man, that's clearly Elias. And then he's like, okay, but you know, you're not really in the bloodline, right? It's like, what do you mean? Like, yes, I am. Like, no, you're not in the bloodline. Okay. If you're in there, let them come out right now. Come on out for Sammy, and they ain't come. Oh man, that was so hilarious. And he goes back there like, what's going on? Am I in the bloodline or not? It's like, and I love their response. Like, yeah, you're an honorary Oos. Yeah, you're an honorary Oos. Yeah, sure.
I love how Sammy called Kevin Oos. He's like, well, you know, you're having a good time over the locker room later, Oos. He goes, you just call me Oos? Well, you know, you spend so much time with them, it kind of rubs off.
Yeah.
Probably not recommended, I'll just say, as a PSA.
Yeah.
Don't be a white guy and go up to a bunch of Samoans and call them Oos. Okay?
Probably not the best.
Just saying.
Not the greatest idea.
Plenty of Islanders here in Alaska. I would not do that shit unless they told me. Yeah.
Although when I met the Usos, they called me Oos, and I thought it was cool.
That is cool as fuck. And
as soon as it happened, I was like,
yeah, but you didn't go, thanks, Oos.
Yeah, I didn't go like, yeah, you know, Oos.
Fanned out.
You're like, we're not worthy.
Right, fanned out. He fanned out.
Yeah. I would have fucking told them to go fuck themselves if they called me Oos. So
I ain't your Oos.
I'm not your Oos.
I can't stand you. Hey, what did you guys? Speaking of which, did you see the Paul Heyman video where he went after a fan and the Usos restrained him from going into the stands, and then Roman Reigns like hugged him and shit? So the fan must have said some vile shit to him or something.
Paul Heyman plays with the fans.
Oh, does he? Okay. So it was fun. Okay, it was all good.
Oh, it was hilarious, man.
Okay.
And just to see, like, you know, Roman Reigns just open his arms like, come on, it's all right, Paul. And Paul just like, okay, all right. Yes. I feel better now.
Not only Paul, though, but Paul and Roman and the Usos, they all play with the fans.
I would do this. I'd go like this. Nice haircut, Paul.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. I would just not.
You look good.
Yeah, hey, Paul. Yeah. Just let it all go, brother.
Yeah.
Grow the beard, too. Can you imagine Heyman with a beard? He'd look bad fucking ass.
Actually, yeah.
Everybody looks badass with a beard. I'm just telling you.
New PSA.
All right.
Yeah. You have a fucking beard.
Yeah.
Noted.
But yeah, so the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn segment, probably one of the greatest segments of all TV history, should go down as an all-timer.
And Kevin Owens is definitely winning that one.
Dude, as soon as Sammy was all like, dude, those guys, obviously, same guy. Kevin went from like having a like, you know, reaction face to just dropping into like the most serious looking face, and then just dove in for like a hug. Like he was like, I'm so happy you
yes.
did that.
Yes. Oh, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. Like, it's like, thank you. You don't know how much that meant to me.
Yeah.
Oh, that was.
He turned on me and goes, they're clearly different people. One has a beard, another one doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh man, them together, man. They're hilarious.
They are legit magic, and it's wild to think where they came from, how they got here, and all the things they were told along the way. Like when you think about people who never should have been here, those are two of the top guys who never should have made it to WWE.
But they're so good on the microphone. They're such good story drivers. They're awesome.
Yeah.
You can't judge a book by a cover when it comes to those two guys.
No,
sure.
and you can't judge even the work in the ring when it comes to those two guys. You can't look at those two dudes just sitting there and say maybe two of the greatest professional wrestlers in the history of time. But the second you've seen them in one segment, you go, that might be one of the greatest guys in the history of time.
If
you know what
you
I mean?
don't like them, I don't think you understand wrestling. Because I think it's like those are the guys that keep the pages moving. Yeah. I mean, Kevin Owens, in my opinion, gave Stone Cold Steve Austin the send-off that he richly deserves. And I will be ever grateful if that's the only thing he ever did great. But every week he does something that I'm like, he's so good.
That did feel like a retirement party. Like it wasn't just like
fucking awesome. That you don't need him losing to The Rock. Stone Cold's fucking 5,000 times bigger than The Rock. The only reason The Rock is big is because he's big in movies. If Stone Cold wanted to do movies, which he did not want to do because he decided he didn't fucking like them and didn't have the injuries, Stone Cold Steve Austin is hands down the greatest fucking wrestler of all time. The best fucking storyline ever is Vince and Stone Cold. That is the greatest of all time. The greatest. You cannot convince me. Yes, I'm wearing a WrestleMania Steve Austin shirt, which you can get at WWE Shop.
WWE Shop.
I'm just saying, I love Stone Cold Steve Austin for a multitude of reasons, which we've fucking gone into ad nauseum. I don't want to go down that road. We're talking about Kevin Owens, who got that piece of advice from Stone Cold Steve Austin and said, learn the fucking microphone, kid. Fuck the moveset. And Kevin Owens did kind of fuck the moveset. He asked Stone Cold to borrow his finisher. He doesn't. Who cares? And actually, the stunner should be a part of
your moves then. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just gonna steal the stunner from you. If that's okay. But I actually, I'll tell you, I appreciate it. Because honestly, some of these finishing moves look scary and dangerous. So I'm like, hey, just go back to the shit that was working years ago.
DDT.
The RKO is the best one of all time. Even though I'm a Stone Cold fan and I love the stunner, RKO is fucking awesome. It's such a fucking great finishing move. It is the best of all time. But I am a huge fucking fan of what Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn do. And they could be a tag team. That would be epic. They could be. But this is, I'm telling you, this is what's stifling with the draft. They just need to get rid of it. Because we're sitting here trying to figure, who's going to be on SmackDown? Fucking get rid of it. Because McAfee goes, I hear him on his show all the time. And they're like, AJ Hawk will be like, what about this guy? Oh, Ciampa. He's asked a lot about Ciampa. I don't really know, man, because he's a fucking Raw guy, and I don't get to see him. And, this is not McAfee being kayfabe. He's being legit. Like, he doesn't have fucking time. Like, he runs a fucking multi-million-dollar corporation at PMI, and he's also got to fucking do a radio show 5 days a week, which we know, Shakes, coming up with content ain't always the funnest fucking thing.
So here's this from the Pac-Man standpoint. If you break down the draft, and then he's going to look like a jackass if he doesn't know everybody from both shows. Right now, he can focus on one show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you destroy the draft...
Yeah, no, I got you. But it's confusing. It's confusing to know who's where. And then we've had a lot of crossover. There's been so much SmackDown Raw crossover this year, I've lost fucking track. And so what's happening is some of the lessers that are on those two shows are getting fucking buried. Because you have all the good guys. You have the Sami Zayns and Kevin Owens doing both because they're so good. But this younger generation has to step up or they're going to be washed away. That's the problem. The guys that are there now are too fucking good. That's why we need an AEW. So some of those lesser stars can go shine. Nothing against. Like, I fucking love Jericho. I never got Daniel Bryan, but I like Jericho. I think he's one of the best heels of all time. He's way better fucking heel than Roman Reigns. He didn't have to cheat half the fucking time. He actually won every once in a while. He was a fucking good goddamn wrestler too. Yeah, I know. I get it. It just looked better then. But
cleaner cheat.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he's got the Walls of Jericho is one of the coolest finishing moves too. Like, fucking love that move. And I love him on the microphone. I think he's one of the best on the microphone.
An issue they've had when they've destroyed the Bland script before is that the lesser guys on the shows don't just get buried. They literally go away.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's a problem.
That's what I was worried about as a WWE fan. Is like, you keep telling me about all these cool and exciting people like LA Knight, who's not going by LA fucking Knight. Again, why build a name brand and then change it? That one I don't get. Like
in defense, they didn't build the name.
Well, Butch was Pete Dunne. I get why they changed his name because Pete Dunne's stupid. And Butch is also equally dumb, but it's not as dumb. And they all knew him as Butch or whatever. Yeah. Even though I fucking hate that storyline. It's stupid.
I love it.
LA Knight sounds like a fucking hockey team.
I like LA Knight as a name, though.
Right.
But I don't know who the film guy is. You know what I'm saying?
Max Dupree.
Max Dupree. Sorry, I didn't even know his fucking...
Max Dupree.
Now, if he's as good, though, as he can be... Hopefully we see him shine.
Yeah.
But I wonder about the timing of the moves of these NXT folks.
Yeah.
How well Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, to get back to what we were talking about, are running these programs. I mean, and I told you, I will be a big fan. The Bloodline can go another 100 years if Sami Zayn's in there, because I know he'll run a great program. I'm just saying, like, every fucking time Roman Reigns shows up and cheats for the Usos, okay, fool me once, but 500 times now, it's like, is it really dominance? If you can't beat them on your own, like, to me, it's like, okay, they could still be heels and win outright. I'm more for that than having Roman show up all the time. And Superman punch fucking people into oblivion. It doesn't make sense to me. For both sides, Roman shouldn't need it either. If he's the greatest, he shouldn't need to cheat.
It's easy to say that, but
he hasn't wrestled forever. I can't remember last time.
If you want to talk greatest heels of all time, names that come up right away are like Ric Flair. I mean, even if you want to talk Miz, you just talk about Jericho, Triple H, DX.
All lost legit.
All cheated a lot.
I got you. Yeah, no, I got you. I get that.
So it's like
exactly. So at the end of the day, it all counts as W's. That's all that matters.
He's a different heel. He's a next level heel, right? We've never seen anything like where the WWE has been built around this giant stable of heels. Like before, you always rooted for the good guy. Hogan was a good guy until NWO. Even Andre was a good guy back before WWE and shit. So, Ultimate Warrior, good guy. Stone Cold, anti-hero. Rock, anti-hero, but good guy. But, like, also heel. Once Hogan did the NWO thing, I think they're like, oh, wait a minute here. There's something to the good guy being like, oh, I'm fed up. I'm going to be a heel, too. Fuck you. And so everybody was like, okay, I get it. So they have the book written on what works and stuff. But, like, Roman can win outright now. Like, I don't need to see him cheat. But he's already a giant heel.
Here's the deal.
You don't need to build his heel status.
He only started cheating to win probably in the last probably right on the time you started watching. To be honest, all the build before, he won clean with chokeouts.
Yeah, which I'm okay with.
He did the guillotine on.
He'd go back to that.
Yeah,
but I didn't see it. So I'm saying I can only go off what I know.
So what I'm saying is that, like, for a year before, when he was the champion from the SummerSlam, because you started watching SummerSlam, he won the title the SummerSlam before. He won clean every single time up until that SummerSlam when he started cheating.
Well, I'm saying now
it's kind of weird.
No, but I'm saying, like, he can win clean from time to time. I'm not saying he has to win every time. And I'm not saying he can't help the Usos every once in a while. But I'm like, now it's like so constant. It's like, okay, guys, he's already the heelish of all heels, right? Like, you don't need him to be more heelish. I don't think it's physically possible. Because honestly, like, the fans that love him. They go, oh, he's the greatest or whatever. So you have I see a shitload of Bloodline shirts in the fucking stands. Like, I'm not, like, delusional to think that it's not working. Like, I get it's going, but it's like, you don't have, like, I don't need to see them cheat now at all. They should be that dominant. And honestly, if you're winning, even if you're winning with cheating, your confidence is going to go up and you're going to win. Shakes in football, we talk about all the time. If the team's got confidence and they start rolling, a 9-7 Giants team beats a fucking undefeated Patriots in the Super Bowl, 18-1 New York Giants style. I'm just saying, like, every once in a while it makes the underdog look better too if Roman's like a dominant winner when they actually thrown him.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Yeah, we get you like the heel. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, man. So, as long as it's a W at the end of the day, and this is how I look at it, Beard. And I always did. Even with Triple H, because they was telling me the same thing with Triple H. They was like, I was a huge Triple H fan. And everybody like, oh, I don't want Triple H because all he do is cheat. Every time somebody got to come down and do that, right? And my answer was always, doesn't matter. He got the W. And when you look back at the end of the day, 10, 15 years down the line, They're not going to say, oh, you only won because China did the low blow. They're going to say you was the cerebral assassin. You are a legend, like they are saying right now.
No, I got
so,
you, Chicks. Yeah, no, I got you. I'm not saying...
It doesn't matter, bro.
All I'm saying is... No, but I'm saying... Sometimes to sell the heel, you need to let him win legit a bit.
I agree.
And he has.
This is why I agree, but also think that there's a wiggle room here because
we don't need to though anymore. We don't need any wiggle room with Roman. Just let him win
I'm not
legit.
That.
He's that dominant.
Yeah. So like when Kevin Owens was the Universal Champion, he was the champion for almost a full year. And when I look back on it, I think, man, I wish he was the Universal Champion again. That was such a great time. In the moment, I hated him because he had Jericho cheat for him, or he cheated himself. Every single defense. If you go back and look, he didn't win one time. And I kept saying it's undermining him as a champion. It's undermining him as a champion.
But now you miss it.
But now I look back and go, oh, it was cool to have him as a champion, though. You know what I mean?
But yeah, because we don't have one guy with all the fucking belts. Horrible idea.
They've done it before, and I don't even complain about that. I'm just saying that, like, in the moment, that's why we hate them and why we get so excited when they lose. It makes a new star because it feels refreshing all the time.
We don't need a new star. He's already a star is what I'm saying. We don't need a new star.
No, Roman's not the next star.
No, I got
He's the star now.
Yeah, but who are they building? Is it Riddle? Is it Riddle?
I think it's going to be Drew. But I think that...
But I almost feel like they know because of people like you. Because you don't like him. So, like, you don't buy him as a champion.
But it's going to be star making when they beats Roman. But they have to... So, Roman won clean for so long.
Hasn't he been that champion before, though? And hasn't he beaten Roman before?
Yeah. Well, no, he didn't beat Roman. Did he beat? Oh, he beat Roman a long time ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Like cancer Roman.
Yeah. So let me ask. This is what I'm saying. This is what they're in trouble with Roman Reigns, I believe. This is why. Because, okay, you think it's going to be Drew. Who do you think it's going to be, Shakes? Who's going to be the guy that steps up to Roman and beat him?
You mean, like, all right, it's two different questions, kind of. Because you're saying, like, who are they building up?
No, I want you to tell me, not who they're building up, because we don't have a
go ahead.
It's tough.
We really don't know who they're doing. I mean, you can speculate on who you think they're building up, because he said Drew McIntyre, and I don't fucking agree. But and I like Drew McIntyre. I'm one of those people that likes him. I do. I think
this.
But
if Drew beats Roman, you're gonna explode.
No, I don't think I will, though.
You don't think?
No, I don't think they've done a good job of building that at all. I think I'm like, really? not because I don't think Drew is capable.
Beat everybody else and you lose to him.
No, but I'm just saying, like, it doesn't. Riddle makes more sense to me today than Drew McIntyre. Now, you tell me who you think is the guy in the stable. There's another one I held back. We'll talk about it after you tell me who you think is the guy that could dethrone Roman, even though you don't want to see Roman dethroned because you like the heel. I want you to say, you Kenny, Shakes Montana, tell me who you think could beat Roman. Like, you'd be like, that's a good story if this guy beats Roman.
I think we kind of spoke on it earlier, but I think that it has to be a mega star, a mega guy, because you can't
give us a name. I want your opinion.
And have this man on guard level and just lose to anybody, right?
Exactly. So I agree with that too. I agree.
I think again, it has to be Cody.
Okay.
It has to be Cody.
Yeah, that's fair. So my sneaky one other than Cody is Randy Orton. If Randy Orton can come back and wrestle in the next 6 months, he can be, because he's got that gravitas that could beat Roman without a shitload of build. If Roman's looking to get out, because if Roman is walking away a little bit, he's not going to want the titles.
I know. I just think this is going to sound bad. I think that'd be a waste.
Are they going to walk?
Because Randy's a made man.
Are they going to walk Roman away from the titles, though? Is he just going to walk away and never give them up like Becky Lynch? I almost feel like that's what they're at right now. Really, because who's going to convincingly beat Roman? You haven't built anybody. Well, he thinks McIntyre, but I really don't. He's helped out.
It has to be Cody, man.
I think Kevin Owens and Becky Lynch said it on Twitter. They gave it away. Not a spoiler. It's a prediction. It's a spoiler, not a spoiler. They said it's going to be Shanky. I can see it.
Well, I mean, I saw more
Oh
personality.
my gosh,
I saw more personality
horrible
from Shanky
dancing
than I've ever seen.
Oh
That
my
was
gosh,
great.
what was going on, man?
Dude, hey, you know what? That's another guy they underuse. They underuse Shanky and they underuse Gender. Gender is awesome in the ring.
Great.
We need to see more fucking Gender. I don't get it. Like, it
Shanky
doesn't make any
sucks.
sense to me.
Shanky sucks to me, man. And I think they just trying anything to make him relevant.
But that was funny and cool. Like, at least they're trying something with him, bro.
Exactly. Like, that's exactly what it is. Is they trying something with him because they don't have no other ideas. You know, he's just a big dude, you know, and you know, WWE loves big guys. Pause, but they love big guys,
and that's stable of motherfucking big guys. Baron Corbin,
exactly.
Veer, Commander Aziz. Yeah, Veer. Oh God, what a fucking terrible thing they're running there. Hey, real quick.
But the reason, and let me explain why I don't like Shanky though, is because he's limited in the ring and what he can do. Like Omos, he's so big, but he has skills. He can do things, right?
Yeah, he's good.
I like Omos. With Shanky, it's like he's so limited. He can't barely even move. Like that's Shanky is, and that's why I feel like they just pressing the issue. But go ahead.
I kind of agree with Ref Marsh though. I think they just haven't used Shanky really.
I don't think he's had a chance to let us know. But the thing is, I think a lot of it is I mean, I think they're doing this dancing thing just to get him out of his shell. I guess Dewdrop even said that when she started dancing on the way to the ring as like a baby face, that was because Vince told her you have to go dance. And she goes, I don't know how to dance. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, and she like complained to him and he goes, that's bullshit. You're out here shaking your ass backstage all the time. I just want you to be that out there so the fans can get to like you the way we do.
Yeah, I bet you Shanky is like that. I bet you they love him in the back and they're like, dude, you should be so much fucking better. If you just need to be yourself. And you know what?
I think
ironically, wasn't that the advice they gave Roman fucking Reigns and it ended up working out for him? So
I think it's one of those things where it's like, hey, go break the ice with the audience.
I'm rooting for Shanky. I like it.
You know what it reminds me of? It's like I don't know if y'all ever watched this show, but it was a good show, and I hope that they bring it back for season 2. But Heels.
I didn't watch it, but I heard it was awesome.
I didn't watch it because CM Punk's associated with it.
Well, you should watch it because
it's amazing.
NFL
it's amazing.
No.
James Harrison.
Dude, guy had against the Arizona Cardinals had a 99-yard interception return for a touchdown.
Yeah, in the Super Bowl.
For the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's him.
He is dude. Go back and watch the interview McAfee does with him on the show about being on that show. It's so fucking good. I want to see it, Kenny. I haven't seen it. I really want to see it. I'm really wanting to see it, but I don't get stars, so I got to figure out how I'm going to watch it. It'll be on Netflix or some shit eventually.
If he buys stars, I'll pirate it from him. Otherwise, not happening.
Well, yeah. If he moves to Alaska, we'll figure out a way to watch it together.
I'll send y'all something. I'll send y'all.
I hope it comes back to. I'm a Stephen Amell fan because I liked Arrow. I never finished Arrow, but I liked
Stephen Amell when he was on Raw.
Was he on Raw for a while?
Yeah, he did a program.
Hey, I got y'all. I will send y'all something for y'all to watch that. So I got you. Cause I'm telling you, man, it goes.
I want to watch it. You're not. I want to watch it.
Depth, like on how things is behind the scenes. And how they do things, and it was amazing, and that's why I brought that up because when we talk about Shanky, it's like a guy on there is like they were struggling to try to find his character on the show Heels. You know what I'm saying? And on the show Heels, they were struggling to find his character, but everybody in the locker room loved him. They loved him and they was rooting for him. And so that reminds me of what y'all was talking about with Shanky. Is like, okay, I mean, they rooting for him and they trying to find something that will stick for him.
Well, I can tell you this: if you put a guy that likes to dance on Smackdown with McAfee, he'll sell him well. Because with Shinsuke and Boogs, they got big because of Pat. Pat was like the third member of that team that no one ever talked about. and he was selling the shit out of those two. And if you get Shanky on there, I really hope I'm rooting for the guy. I root for all these guys, like these guys coming up from NXT, and like you were talking about, like I want to see. And Marsh and I were talking about this the other day. We were saying, what AEW stars would we like Britt Baker? She's a Pittsburgh gal. That's where McAfee's from. I'd love to see her on WWE. And then Hangman. Adam Page or Adam Hangman Cole. What's the guy's name?
I think Britt Baker would kind of get lost in the wash in WWE.
You think because we have so many good women? That could be too.
And I feel like she's a big fish in a small pond. She is.
And I think it's the biggest problem she has. But we'll talk about it another time. But yeah, her being she's not getting any better in AEW. And I think she's going to be around better talent and bigger talent to get better. And I think she could, but I don't think she wants to. I think she's happy doing what she's doing. So
she also is a dentist, so she can fall back on that job.
Yeah, she good.
Bobby Lashley
good,
versus almost an MVP.
And then her husband. Bobby, who?
Bobby Lashley versus almost an MVP. Who do you got?
Oh, Bobby.
I told y'all, man. Bobby Lashley is over. MVP is the X Factor now. Like, now that Omar's got MVP, it's over. Bobby Lashley can't win no more.
Oh, you say Omos or MVP then?
Yeah.
I think Bobby
inevitable.
Lashley wins.
It's inevitable. Nope.
I think Omos has to win it.
Yeah.
I think he has to.
I won't have a problem with Omos, but I just think Bobby's going to win, my opinion.
I like Bobby more, but I think Omos has to win it. At this point, he's losing too much.
I like Omos. Yeah, because he did actually lose to him in the last pay-per-view too, didn't he?
He won he lost like twice in a row.
Yeah, this is Omos. You guys are right. I got to change to Omos. Omos and MVP got to win this one. MVP is so good, by the way. We decry, where are your Jimmy Harts, where are your Paul Bearers? We have one in MVP.
Right, yeah.
A really good one. And Edge, really.
Bobby Lashley's mic time during the contract signing might be the best mic time that Bobby Lashley's had. He came off like he came off genuine.
Yep.
He came off like he was talking and not trying to remember what to say.
Yeah, because he's really not good on the microphone normally, and that was very good. Like, I didn't notice it. I'm glad you pointed it out, because I was like, oh, yeah. Because if he does okay, I'm like, well, that's how he should do all the time.
Yeah.
And I didn't really notice it, but I'm glad you brought that up.
Can y'all imagine a Bobby Lashley Omar's tag team, though?
Ooh.
That could happen, too.
We could get
Fuck. I really like Omos. I'm a huge fan. I want to see him do big things. I would like to see him be like a guy I'd go up against Roman. Because even they could do heel on heel. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, at this point, it's like that seems to be more popular. So give them what they want.
Shakes, we got Judgment Day versus what I'm calling the Bull Live Club. Liv,
like
Finn Balor, and AJ.
I think we all came up with that together, right?
I think we did.
Somebody, yeah. Uh-huh.
Nice. That's awesome. You guys did good. I missed that part of the show. I think the AJ and them win.
Yeah, I think so. I think the club's got to win.
Really?
Yeah. But I would be okay with the Judgment, because I told Marsh I love that supernatural element. They've been missing that since The Undertaker, really.
Judgment Day.
I want Bo Liv to win really bad, but I think Judgment's going to win because that's the trajectory.
Why do you want Bo Liv to win?
Probably because they're the good guys. There's three of my favorites together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're
It's
really
probably
great.
just because I'm being worked.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if I'm being honest, I love those three individually and together in any iteration. That, like, it makes me happy to see them. So I want to see them win, but at the same time, that's the idea. That's what the story is. Right?
Ricochet.
It's Finn Balor, AJ Styles.
No,
Finn Balor, AJ Styles,
and Liv Morgan. It's like fucking. That's a dream team to me.
Yeah, they're
right.
So it's all like incredible, but they're pushing Judgment Day as the next ascending.
Hey, what about Finn Balor Demon on Judgment Day, but stays on this?
Yeah, he's just back and forth as regular Finn Balor. He comes out in makeup and like, fuck, he's all against us.
And I think that's what's gonna happen.
So cool.
Y'all
booking, you know what I'm saying?
y'all talking, but I'm thinking that's what's gonna happen. Finn Balor is gonna turn.
I would love him as the Demon to be on Judgment Day. I've been saying it since day one, have I not? Yeah. So I'm all for that.
So your Judgment Day on this one, Shakes?
Hell yeah.
What's your problem with Liv and Finn and Styles?
He likes the heels all the time. He's never wavers from that.
Never one time.
No, not once. He's a heel. He's a heel guy. Yeah. We know what to get steak for Christmas. It has to be a heel. I'm just gonna get a giant shirt with a heel on it.
That's what I mean, like a
I'm gonna
stiletto.
I'll get a picture of my cracked and horrible ass army feet heel.
Yeah. We're just gonna get him with like a
stiletto
on it.
You know, this is listen, right?
On the heel.
Yeah.
Real quick story, right? You know, me being young, and you know, as a kid, you always grow up, and you know, you think like sometimes like I would love to be a wrestler, right? So here's the thing, right? I had my whole wrestling thing all get up, right? Now, imagine Swerve, right? Like I'm in that Swerve range, right?
Yeah.
But I'm definitely a heel, okay, right? But my thing is I'll be on that. I don't care about the business. It's like F you, pay me, right?
Yeah.
It's like F you, pay me. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you want to get in this Owen Hart tournament? No. F you, pay me, right? Right? Like, and you would.
Money. That's some Cardona
and
stuff.
That's somebody you would love to root against. Like this man doesn't give a crap. Like he just wants his money. That would be my character.
You would do so good at it too, man.
Have you seen the Cardona stuff where he keeps saying if you pad the lope? He's talking about putting money in an envelope.
I've seen a lot of shit on him.
Cardona's always saying that. They're like, oh, do you want to go for this title? And he goes, if that person's willing to pad the lope, you know, like, I'll talk to them if they're willing to pad up that lope.
Like, I know that's right.
Give me a shitload of money to come entertain you.
That's right.
Peasants.
Yeah. I'm down for whatever gets that money.
This is the guy, GCW guy, right? That you like a lot, Cardona. Yeah. So Marsh is a big fan of the Indies. That's why he does the show on Thursday, because they talk about the Indies, and that's when you light up.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand why you even talk about AEW, because you don't like it at all.
Yeah.
Which I was actually surprised to hear from you. Like when you're like, oh no, I actually think it's the worst thing ever. I was like,
sometimes I like to talk about what disappoints me in life. You know what I mean? It's therapeutic.
I'm like Kevin Smith, man.
Yes.
I don't talk bad about it.
Like the Giants sometimes.
You know, I don't want to talk about shit I don't like. You know what I'm saying? And as far as AEW, I don't have an opinion on it because I've never seen it.
Right, you don't watch it. Yeah, I get it.
Theory versus Mustafa Ali. Who you got?
It's got to be Theory. I want it to be Theory.
Yeah, it got to be Theory. They
I don't
build
even like
him up.
Mustafa Ali.
In his hometown, you want him crushed.
Yeah, let him lose.
Listen.
Go ahead.
Here's the thing. I'm not that invested in this thing, but what I would say is this, right?
That's us.
What I would say is that in his hometown, what best way to build someone heel status than to have that man beat him in his hometown, right?
It makes sense.
Like that's amazing. So of course it's Theory, man. And I know y'all like the heel, but you damn right. It's Theory.
Oh, no, I want Theory. I don't like Mustafa Ali. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about his character at all. I just don't care. They've never given me a reason.
Oh, they're trying to make him a little relevant though.
Or I just don't. I don't have. They've never given me a reason to like Mustafa Ali.
Okay.
And that's another one that they trying to make him relevant. That's another one that they are trying to find something that sticks with Ali.
You know what I thought was interesting is he was on After the Bell, and I took a listen to it. And I've always historically liked Mustafa Ali, and I've seen other interviews with him where I liked him. In this one, I don't think they were trying this, but he came off a lot more patronizing and condescending and
like Marsh talks all the time.
Yeah, he was talking like me, like he thinks he's as good as me, but he's not. No, he was a lot more egotistical and shit than I expected, you know. So yeah, it started making me feel like I wanted to root against him. I was kind of like, no, I feel like you got to be humble, dude. Like, what's going on here?
I'm rooting against him because of Marsh too. Like, I value his opinion so much on these things. Like, and here's the thing. Before you and I talked about this the other day, I didn't have a positive or negative opinion on Mustafa Ali. I just didn't have one, period, because he was like not anybody I gave a shit about. Yeah. Like I kept waiting to hear he got released, basically. Yeah. So I was surprised he was back, and then I was like, okay, I don't really give a shit about this guy anyway, and they never have given me a reason to. And I know he has fans. Yeah. Like I'm not rooting against the guy again. I don't root against these people. But I want Theory to win. One, because
they need to hire me, right? They need to hire me for creative, right? Because for Mustafa Ali, right, this is what I would do with him. You remember when Seth Rollins was doing the whole Messiah thing?
Yeah. Right?
Seth Rollins needs to do that again. He needs to have disciples.
Yeah.
And Mustafa Ali needs to be one of Seth Rollins' disciples. Yeah. He is so much like him and so much
right.
He's like the Indian Seth Rollins, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, in the ring, they have so much abilities, like similar abilities, that if he took a mentorship to Mustafa Ali, I think Ali would skyrocket.
I agree with that. That could be for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have a.
I got ideas, man. They just be all in my mind. I just try to get it out sometimes, man.
Well, we're firm believers that Bruce Pritchard listens to our show because he likes to drink. So cheers, Bruce Pritchard. You can take that one.
Was he still working for WWE?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And hey, fellas, like I said, F you, pay me.
Yeah.
I think it would be awesome. I know you would fucking pull it off, too.
The only other match they have for Hell in a Cell that's announced, unless we get something announced on SmackDown, is the Usos versus Riddle and Shinsuke. My only issue with the idea of Riddle and Shinsuke winning is I just don't see being invested in them as a tag team. It's too close to RK Bro for me.
They won't win. The Usos will win.
I don't know. They might.
Yeah, I think the Usos will win, and the Usos should win straight out, honestly. Because you know what? They could just plague on Riddle being emotionally damaged because his best friend Randy is out there. He's injured.
And plus they the twos.
Or
Riddle
and Shinsuke win because Randy isn't injured and he comes back and fucks up the Usos, which would be fucking awesome.
That would be wild.
I hope that happens.
That would be wild.
But it won't, because we can't have nice things in life. Just saying. Since 1990, fucking whatever. So yeah, dude, what do you think? What do you think of that match?
Which one?
The one we just talked about, Usos and Riddle. Who wins? I think Usos. Right?
I just said it. Yeah, it's definitely Usos, man. There's no way. There's no way. Again, I think it's to the point where you have to have a team that is a mega team, like a team that is just over the top, that's going to be able to take those belts away from the Usos. You can't have them just lose the belts to a team. You just threw it. Yeah, they could have.
Yeah.
But you can't throw a team and just throw them up together and just say, okay, now y'all gonna be the champions.
Yeah,
y'all beat one of the greatest tag teams all time. No, can't do that.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
But you know what I want though?
Okay.
They need to build up the Street Profits. Like, they have to build up the Street Profits. If they build up the Street Profits, they can have enough stature to be able to take those belts away from Usos.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah.
Ref Marsh, I can't speak for him, but I know he fucking hates the Street Profits. Am I right? You fucking hate
because them. I think they and it's because they misused though. Like, they were misused.
Yeah, he's
like, if they was a heel, and I had this this conversation with Ref Marsh. Like, if they were heels, if they were heels, it would be way better, because how brash and how cocky they are, you really want to root against that guy, but they want him to be so.
Good heels.
Yeah,
man. Like, as we were watching Raw, I was like, oh, they should just make.
They're
them
also
heels.
so annoyingly loud. I usually turn the volume way down. Here's the other thing, just on the Street Profits real quick, the Miz TV segment with them, They keep doing this with them. They spent half of their fucking promo time putting over matches on Hell in a Cell.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
didn't make a ton of sense.
I was so pissed because I'm watching the Street Profits in the ring with Miz, and all they're talking about is Seth and Cody. They're talking about fucking Usos and Riddle, and I'm all like, but who the fuck are you, and why should I care?
Yeah.
You're telling me why everyone else is awesome, and I need to watch the next show? And you're making me realize I don't need to watch you. You're
He
a fucking
said that.
commercial.
He did say that kind of like as it was going
That's
down.
a great point, right? And I noticed that too. But I think that's the gift and the curse, to be honest. Because I feel like because they do that, they so great at that, it's like promoting. They promoting. And they getting you juiced up for those matches. Right?
Yeah.
And I think that's why WWE. But no, I get it. But that's why WWE loves them so much. No. That's why the company loves them so much. Is because they do things like that and it promotes and juices up for their matches. The problem, and that's why I'm saying it's the gift and the curse, is the curse is that now you're not boosting up your brand. You're not boosting up yourself. So you're boosting up everybody else, and that's where everybody else get these matches, and you don't.
Yeah, but the thing is I don't think they're doing a good job because they're so annoying when they do it. I'm not more excited when they go, "It's Cody." I'm all like, okay, what the fuck are you talking like that for?
Yeah.
I get it, it's Cody, but Cody's doing a bang-up job talking about his own program. You coming over there and trying to be a goddamn cartoon about it doesn't make me care about the match more. It makes me care about you less.
When he made that point, I was like, oh yeah, why aren't they selling their own stuff?
Yeah,
like they should be saying. And I think Shakes was saying initially though, you were out for it. He feels like they are misused, and he would like to use them in a different way. And so that that would be good. I want to see all these programs be the best they can be. I want to see these guys, these wrestlers make the potential that we think they can make, so we as the fans can be entertained. The people like you that root for heels, the people like me that root for baby faces primarily, even though I like good heel stuff, it's just like, the story needs to be right. Like, write a cool story. Like, man, I kind of want something like Bray Wyatt. Like, I would like to see that. Now I'm sad I missed a lot of that. Yeah. But it also seems like the WWE missed a huge opportunity to make him champion like multiple times, and that would have been
they
could have really ran with that one, and he could have been one of the best heels of all time.
They dropped the ball on that.
If the story's right, and to take it to sports, if it's the Rangers and the Capitals, you both are watching TV, screaming at the TV, and you don't hate each other by the end of it, no matter who won, right? In this house.
No, fuck the Rangers. I'm not rooting for them.
I'm not saying you're rooting for them. If they're against the Capitals, you're rooting for their team. But your wife is rooting against that team. And at the end of the day, you're still happily married.
Pretty much a Rangers fan.
If
we're not playing each other, I'm pretty much a Rangers fan.
Yeah, but it keeps people invested in it, regardless of like I think some of the coolest shit you see in sports is you have two rival team fanatics go watch a game together because they can yell at each other and have fun, but at the end of the day they're having drinks together. They're hanging out, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what he's saying here, is that like, even though you like the heels and he likes the baby faces, you guys should be rooting against the different people.
Well, we want a good story ultimately,
but you both want to be that invested, and since it's not a team sport, you got to be invested in the characters for their reasons. But I liked a lot of the heel stuff too though. Like I said, like the Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens will be like, they're goated.
I don't like no baby faces. I don't like no baby faces.
I get that, man. But Cena was the shit.
You like Max?
Do I like? Look, all right. So here's the thing, right? He's starting to grow on me, though. Yeah. I'm gonna say that, right? Because like at first when he came out, I think I was first introduced to him. He was in Impact Wrestling, right?
Yeah.
And it just came off like, no disrespect, but like a white rock, right? Yeah. Like everything that he was doing, it was like the Rockish, and I'm like, it just ain't. It came off wrong to me at first, right? And then I would say, like when he went to NXT, and I was like, oh Lord, now I'm gonna have to hear his corny self over here, right? but he surprised me at NXT because I like the yeah. I was like, okay, I can rock with that. Okay, and now he's with the Max Dupree. I'm like, okay, all right, he's warming up to me. I'm getting to it. He's warming up. At first though, no, I didn't. I thought he was really cheesy and corny. Now I'm seeing a vision. I think it's WWE creative.
I'm excited to see where he takes it because he's the kind of guy you could give him whatever it is. He could have made Bastion Booger work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's awesome on the mic, man. He's awesome on the mic.
Just a couple things real quick. I'm really happy that Shotzi's getting time every week to talk. She's been coming off better and better every week. She hasn't done a lot in ring yet, but her time on mic has been awesome. And I think what it really shows is we're building Shotzi to Ronda. And I think that if you look at it, you can see the seeds planted. If you're not looking at it, you think that they're just having her do nothing. She's talking constantly about the title. She's constantly talking about the championship. She's talking constantly about being undermined. They're building her to have a match with Ronda at an important event, probably a SummerSlam. And I think that's pretty fucking cool.
That's an interesting perspective.
What do you got then?
I'm still on this. I don't know. I'll be stuck in my ideas and my visions, right? So, like, I'm still on this Ronda, Natalya, Queen of Spades.
Yeah. That
Group.
was a good one, too.
And I think, like, right now, it's the perfect opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
do it.
It's the perfect opportunity for Ronda Rousey to make a heel turn. Right here. So,
do you think she does it?
I think she's.
I'm on that.
Shotzi could be babyface in that program, no problem.
Yeah. And they might want to do that for Shotzi too, because the fans. Nothing against Ronda, they might be. But I don't know. I feel like Ronda's gotten a pretty good pop since she's been back, and I've been, I have not hated
but
it.
Look how much it would go over the roof if she was a heel, though.
Yes. Yeah. People will be invested.
I think actually you guys are both 100% correct. I think that's what Ronda was selling her fights as a UFC fighter. She was best as a heel.
Yeah.
She sold the fights. I mean, she was in the Hall of Fame the moment she fought in the UFC, right? Because Dana White notoriously said they were never going to have female fighters ever. And then Ronda was like the draw that everybody was like, yeah, we got to see this girl because she'll like armbar you in 15 seconds. So so I'm with you. I like Shotzi too. I know you've been a big fan of her, and I'm glad we're getting to see a little bit more of her. I noted that too. I agree. Like, give her, she deserves it too. It's good.
Yeah, let her talk.
She's really good on the mic. Yeah. Also well in the ring. So I would get behind her as a babyface title contender there for the Raw Women's Championship. You don't have to keep it on Bianca forever, because I feel like Bianca could hold it and Bianca could get it back.
Well, she's SmackDown right now. Ronda Championship. SmackDown.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
But even then,
Charlotte, SmackDown.
But you could even get to a point where you have her as a believable contender against Ronda. Maybe she doesn't win. Maybe after some sort of draft, she's on Raw, and she could even take it off of somebody down there.
I know. My bad.
But you could get there. You could get there. Shakes, any thoughts on Shotzi? Or do we hit?
No, I think she's in that Liv Morgan range.
Yeah.
It's like they want to do something with her, they just don't know what. Yeah. And the fans are wanting it, but they just don't know how to go about it yet.
That's where they're at with Alexa too. They just don't know what to do with her, so they're just putting her out there every week, and we'll get there when we get there. I think
that's crazy. I forgot that she was a 5-time champion too. Like, man, that's amazing.
First ever person to hold the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships.
Becky Lynch?
No. Well, she's the first one to hold them at the same time. Alexa's the first one to win on both shows.
Oh, Alexa Bliss?
Yeah.
Yeah. Had the Michael Cole thing. 25th anniversary today.
Yeah, 25th anniversary of Michael Cole. So cheers to Michael Cole.
Yeah.
25 years of goatness.
He's missed 2 shows on Nate Fly's commercial.
Oh, yeah?
Every time. And he's, because of cancellations and shit, to only miss 2 shows in 25 years. That's pretty Michael Cole.
You know,
legend. You love him and Pat
he is, and I can remember when he first got put in, because a long time it was Jerry the King Lawler, and then it was JR.
Yeah.
And then once JR started to I think he had the stroke and everything, and then he started to go out. Michael Cole started to step in.
Yeah,
and
he was doing Raw and SmackDown.
And if y'all can remember, people ain't like Michael Cole because of that. Like this ain't no damn JR. What the hell is he? Right? Who the hell is Michael Cole? You know, and I think Michael Cole, right. And then Michael Cole put in his dues, man. I mean, he stayed true. He stayed there. He even had a WrestleMania moment. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Shout outs to Michael Cole, man. He put in his dues, man. Just like the Miz and guys like that, man. They put their dues in, man.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Michael Cole.
For sure. The only thing I wanted to say about any of the shows was the Drew McIntyre at the end of SmackDown is really starting to get into the behaving like you're talking area. The kind of area where I was saying before, I don't feel like he ever was. He kept not behaving the way he would talk. He'd say I'm a good guy, but then do asshole shit.
Oh, so you're liking what you're seeing from Drew McIntyre is what you're saying. First time on the record?
Is what I was trying to say. Yeah. It's the first time I've seen him do something and behave a certain way that was conducive to what his character is meant to be. The fact that he joined this team, the New Day, that was struggling to get their revenge because they were down a guy. He joins them, and at the end of the match, because he is the main eventer, former champion that is Drew McIntyre, he cleaned house with this tag team and then gives Xavier Woods the tag so Xavier Woods can get the elbow and the win and the revenge over his bullies. That was a super cool babyface move that I thought was awesome, because I think that 6 months ago, Drew McIntyre would have taken the win and then winked at the guy like, I got you, bud. And you've been like, yeah, but you're a dick. You know what I mean? This was one where he's all like, go ahead. I've set the stage for you. Go ahead and get your moment. That was so cool.
And dude, I got to tell you, I had a huge problem with them bringing up the Big E thing. I thought, especially because Ridge Holland was the guy that fucked him up. Dude, come on, man. That's a fucking low. I get it. The fans know. So they want to keep it kayfabe part of the story, but he legit got fucking hurt because Ridge Holland tried to do a belly-to-belly suplex or whatever that fucking move was, and couldn't pull it off because he's not half the
rookie.
Right. He is.
Yeah, he's a rookie. That was a rookie.
And I'm not trying to. I'm sure Ridge Holland in real life feels fucking terrible about it. But to me, we don't.
It's a rookie mistake, man. It's a rookie mistake. That
I'm not saying
it's very severe and went wrong, man. And that's the business it is. You know, that's why it's so masterful that everything got to be perfect the way they do things, or the wrong move or the wrong turn, you can get fucked up, man. I'm watching that pay-per-view, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. But man, what was Darby Allin was fucking himself up, bro. Oh my gosh, man. It was he made mistake after mistake, and he was hurting himself. I mean, so you gotta be definitely perfect on these moves that you make sure that you don't get hurt. So I admire what these guys do.
Yeah. I will say, in defense of wrestling as an industry, they've never shied away from using real injuries in storyline. Wahoo Daniels sold not Wahoo Daniels, had his leg broken. They sold I broke Wahoo's leg. It was Dusty Rhodes.
That's fine.
Yeah, but
no, I love the history. This is great. This is great. This is like you saying, hey, you know what you said makes sense. But
it does. It does make sense. But they've always done it. Like when Owen Hart broke Stone Cold's neck, they had Owen 316 shirts, and on the back it said, I just broke your neck. He broke Austin's neck and made a shirt out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They've always, if it happens on
off
TV,
a power driver.
Ignoring it.
Yeah, off a power driver.
Yeah, the pile driver, and they replayed it 1,000 times.
Oh my gosh, and it was so sickening too to watch it.
Joe Theismann's leg. It's like Lawrence Taylor with Joe Theismann's leg
over and over.
Yeah, they definitely gonna harp on it.
The guy who makes
they definitely gonna harp on it because it makes it so juicy when Big E does come back. It's gonna be, oh man, he's coming back and he's coming for you. You know, and that's just going to be and then they're going to replay this moment again.
All I'm saying is it doesn't need to be a part of the storyline. We already have, they're still running that thing with New Day.
Yeah.
So we're constantly reminded that Big E isn't there, and we know why he isn't there. I just am saying, like, WWE, I get it, but it doesn't need to be a part of the storyline for me to want those guys to get their asses kicked.
And that's why I'm kind of like, how long is he going to be out? I know it's a neck injury, so I don't know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
may
We
never
don't
come
know,
back.
right?
You're
But
right.
what I'm
He may
saying
never
is,
come
it's
back.
like, and exactly, right? And what I'm saying is like, they keeping this storyline alive, and it's like, all right, should he be coming back soon then? Because a lot of times you will want, like, out of sight, out of mind for a while.
Yeah.
So you'll want that to just get out people's heads for a little bit. So by the time he does come back, they'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that. That's why he's going after him. You don't want it to be like, oh, okay. Oh yeah, I already seen this shit last week and shit. By the time he come back, we gonna be sick of it.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I think there's a balance between being too distasteful, but it's also, like I said, they've never shied away from saying there was a real injury here and this is how it happened. I think part of that also is to discourage kids from fucking around too much. To be like, look, you can get fucking hurt, and these are pros. Like, but
That's fair.
It's a balance, I think. I do think that there's a certain point where we go, I get it, but there's a certain point for them where they say, like, they almost have to, like, feel like, I think sometimes they feel like they have to explain stuff to new fans every time. You might not have seen them, but this happened. Like I said, when Owen broke Austin's neck, we saw it 4 or 5 times an episode every week for months.
Yep.
I've seen Big E's injury a lot less. But I also get that
that's fair.
There is moments where you think that this might
They're
be
not
bordering-
replaying it. They're
Yeah,
not replaying
replaying
it. They didn't replay it very much, and I respect that.
It could feel distasteful at times. I don't disagree with that. I think I kind of see both sides of it where I don't disagree with either side, if I'm being honest.
If I'm going to say something critical, it's going to be something like that, where, like, I don't need that to be a part of the storyline to want to see these guys get their asses kicked in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I already want that, so you don't have to bring that up because now it makes me want to shoot them.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, I already am angry enough as a fan at that group. To have it be part of the storyline, I thought was a little bit distasteful. I bet if you ask those guys, they don't want to do that. Like, they're like, we're kind of being told we have to say this.
No, the most funniest disrespectful thing I ever seen in WWE history was Big Boss Man and the Big Show.
Oh, okay.
Do y'all remember that?
No.
When the Big Show father died, and the Big Boss Man made a poem about it. And at the end of the poem, he said, I am so sorry your dad croaked. I lost it. I said, this is the most disrespectful thing I ever seen in my life.
So this thing doesn't compare to that. That's a disclaimer on that one. Big E's entry. But I just didn't think, like, again, like I'm saying, it's not needed, in my opinion, for the storyline. I think the vitriol is there.
Yeah.
I think they could do without it. I'm not saying, don't have it be a part of the storyline, but, like, it doesn't need it.
Yeah. I mean, if they built it up enough, you don't need the injury necessarily.
Yeah, we don't need it. We don't need to hear about it.
And then the bummer part too is it sounds like his healing process isn't going as smooth and quick as they anticipated. It's already got complications.
Of course, it's the fucking neck, dude. We may never see him again, man. It was a heartbreaker because he's an afterthought of being a WWE champion right now, and he was one. And he is awesome in the ring and on the microphone.
He's a dude that if he came back and couldn't wrestle, he would still make an amazing GM.
Yeah, we would love it. Yeah,
He still needs to be on screen.
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah, we can't not have him around. He's just too good a voice and everything. Well, I mean, he really doesn't
he's
want
great.
Yeah.
He's fucking great. And he's, like, I root for the little guy. Like, Big E is a big dude, but he's the little guy.
Yeah.
He's not that tall. He probably was told he wasn't ever going to amount to shit athletically, and fucking the dude is a monster in the ring. So I'm such a huge fan of him.
Yeah, counted out a lot.
Yeah, I really just want to see him just, like, get back on that starship a little bit.
He's a bodybuilder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was a football player.
Yeah. I mean, Love the guy.
Yeah.
Love that group.
Shakes, was there anything else that happened on any of the WWE shows that you wanted to hit on before we have last call?
Trying to think.
You don't have it if you don't know.
Yeah, I feel like we jumped around and covered basically all of it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I would say.
Cool.
Save it for if I remember tomorrow or something.
I'll probably be hitting you up. We may be delaying tomorrow's until Saturday. If you're free Saturday, we'll see. Because just being on vacation, the Thursday shows run long, and
That's
I
perfect.
don't got too much time in Alaska, so we're probably opting towards a Saturday happy hour, where we can cover AEW and NXT together and almost get us hyped up for the In Your House. It's going to be later on that night.
Nice.
But yeah, other than that, guys, appreciate everyone coming.
And getting ready for Hell in a Cell, right?
And getting ready for Hell in a Cell.
Yes, Sunday.
Yeah,
are we doing a watch along for Hell in a Cell?
Unlikely.
Okay,
I got too much to catch
no,
up
yeah,
on.
no, yeah.
I got a lot to catch up on.
What? No. Yeah, that sounds
What?
great. Well, and it Shakes, if you want to do one, we can, but like fucking, I don't want to be on screen if I don't have to be, man, because we do enough of it now. So
Yeah, I mean, whatever you want to do, though. I'm down.
I don't want to do one. So if you're not doing one, we're not doing one.
Whatever you want to do, I'm down.
I'm gonna see you 2 more days this week, not counting today. So
Right. It's a lot of. We see each other.
Oh, I love you, dude. You're awesome.
Right, but
I don't need to see you on the weekend. If
yeah, need a break sometimes.
Yeah, you too, brother.
Shakes, tell people where they can find you.
Oh man, at ShakesNYG on Twitter. Please, just type in the Shakedown Sports Podcast. You just type in the Shakedown on YouTube, and we pop right up. Catch all our videos, man. We just did an NFC East roundtable. We're gonna be doing another roundtable soon. I'm not gonna announce it yet, but we're gonna be doing another roundtable. So, y'all join us, man. We doing this sports thing, man. Oh, also the Shakedown Sports Podcast.com. Definitely check our website out.
And you will see my ugly mug there because I am their coordinating producer.
That's
exactly. Yeah, guys.
Right.
We are at WOTR the show. I'm at Ref Marsh, and this is the dive bar of the IWC, and that's the last call. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Hey, producer lady here. Thanks for tuning in. Continue to support us or buy us a drink by following and putting the I in subscribe on Twitch. Or subscribe and review our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to us. Cheers.
I would never have a drink with wrestling on the rocks.